Hey, how's it going? It's been a great week. I hope you're having a great week. Today, I'd like to tell you a story. In this story, I had a summer job. And this summer job, it was a very hard job, physically, mentally, emotionally. It really drained me, and it was really hard. But it was really good, and the Lord provided through that. After I got done with that summer job, I decided not to go back to school in the fall, but to figure out what God wanted me to do with my life. And so when I finished this summer job, I ended up having very little money to my name because I was out of school. I had to pay rent for a house, and I was learning how to live on my own. And so that was really hard. And I didn't have a job lined up when I got out of this summer job, and so since I was unemployed, I made it my job, my full-time job, to submit applications in order to get a job. That was my thing, and I thought, well, this will be easy. I'll submit applications for about a week, and I'll get a call back, and I'll find a job, and that's great. And so I did that for a couple weeks, and submitted applications every single day around the area, and never heard back from anyone. The applications just went nowhere. So I was like, well, I'll just keep trying. And so I kept on going and going, and still applying at more and more jobs. At first, I was selective with my jobs to say, like, this is what I want to go into. And then I started broadening my horizons slowly to get into different things. I ended up not getting a job in time to pay rent for the place that I was living. So I ended up having to borrow money from my family in order to pay rent. Now, when I was living there in this town, I was living in Fargo, North Dakota, and I had a really great group of friends who I lived with up there. And one of the things that I loved about them is that we would go to all different sorts of ministry events throughout the week, whether it's church services or Bible studies or what you name it. We were there, and it didn't even happen with just the same church. It would happen with different churches all across the city because we really wanted to feel what God was doing in our city. And so one of these weeks, it had gone into the second month of me being unemployed, and I was getting towards the end of the month, and I was getting a little scared about how was I going to pay rent again. And I, through all of these different church activities, but small groups, church services, whatever, I kept on hearing the same message, and it was give it all to God, and that's what I needed to do. And so by the time I got to the end of Sunday, and I had heard it twice in the same day from two different churches and two completely different pastors, I broke down, and I talked to God, and I said, hey, God, I would really love to give it all to you. I want to give it all to you, but I have a problem, and it is that I need a job, and I don't have a job right now, and I need a job in order to have money in order to make my way and to be able to survive. So, Lord, if you can give me a job, then I will serve you the rest of my life. The next day, literally the next day, the next morning, I got two phone calls from prospective employers. One from just a couple of days ago and one from the beginning of my process. And that led to two interviews and two full-time job offers that were given to me on that next day after I had talked to God and prayed. I decided that it was time that I needed to hold up my end of the bargain. And so that day, I surrendered my life to God. Since that day, the Lord has provided everything that I need. Hey guys, so I'm just going to take a little pause right here. It's obviously I'm not on my couch, but I wanted to talk to you really quick about a moment of provision that I saw in the last week that I thought was really cool. So when I was going to edit this video, I was going to be at a friend's house because I had a weekend off. I was going to go out to Iowa, enjoying some time with some friends. And then on Friday night, we went to sleep, Didn't think anything of it. And then about 2 o'clock in the morning, I got woken up by what sounded like a really bad car crash. And so I looked outside, and the car crash was with my car. My car got totaled, as well as my friend who I was staying with, his car got totaled by a drunk driver. It was crazy. Here's some photos of it. It was absolutely nuts. And I can just tell you, through this entire process, I have seen God's hand of provision on this whole situation. I'm so happy that I didn't get to upload this on time when I wanted to, but it's just so much better now because God has provided so much in this very short amount of time after I was going to talk to you about provision. Anyways, back to the video. If you ever see me around church and I'm praying, you'll notice that at the end of the prayer, I say something. I say this. Say, Father, we ask all these things and anything else you see that we need, please give us. I use this as my daily reminder that God will provide what I need and not what I want. I would like to challenge you to look back on this last year and look at how God has provided for you, and then go to him and thank him for his provision. That's it for this week. If you like this video, please like, share, and subscribe. Right now I'm trying out a whole range of different vlog formats. So if you like this, let me know in the comments. And yeah, have a great week, and I'll talk to you later.